Folks, I got DG back, but Zach is spending some grandma time. You got Dan and Gratwick for tonight's game. How's it going, Dan?
Going good. Rainy afternoon down here in Tampa, Florida. Nothing makes the day better than some Bills versus the Packers football.
You mean it rains in Florida? I thought it was always nice down there.
A couple days here, a couple days there. Keep the lawn green. They got fireworks in Lambeau. We got Greenfield here in Tampa. I'm psyched up. Always a good time going into Lambeau.
Week 7, taking on the defending Super Bowl champions. The 4th straight road game. The Bills need this win to get to 2-2 on this road trip, which is what we were hoping for. Hoping 2 of those wins would have been against the AFC, but we'll just have to settle for 2 wins in general. If you haven't guessed already, get your guess in for the first score of the game. Dan, at some point we might have to go through the schedule and check these kickoff times. I think every game this season has been in prime time so far.
Yeah, it's kind of like a preview for this year, man. We're going to see a lot of primetime game back towards the end of the schedule, so as well get acclimated to it now. You see Schwartz had a big day last week.
Oh, he's just quietly puts in like 7 to 10 catches a game, somewhere around 100 yards. Guy's just relentless.
Well, McDermott's ready to clap it up. He's ready for some Bills football, and they're huddling up on the field for the kickoff, something you don't see often. Guess that's a new tradition.
Chris Douglas checking in says, best part of my day. Let's go Buffalo.
Hey, man, that's awesome to hear. I'm glad people love coming on and checking this out because we love doing it.
Chuck
And I'll
Keller.
tell you what,
Chuck Keller says, I love you guys for this. Thank you. Singletary, first touchdown.
there you go. Get them in. See, Chuck's got the right idea, Chris. You got to get your entries in early. Get ahead of the game. We're kicking off. We're playing defense. You might want to take a defensive man. You might want to just stick with the offense and see what Josh Allen and company can do today.
Brian Lang's going for Josh Allen QB in the Buffalo Bills fans only chat.
There we go. So these Bills are 4-2. We're in 22, correct?
2022.
2022, week 7. 4-2 Buffalo Bills taking on the 3-2 Packers. And I almost said Brett Favre's going to be trotting out. That we're going backwards.
We're going Jordan Love. He's off to a hot start.
Jordan Love, here he comes. 8 touchdowns, 1 pick. Let's see if we can make that more. I'm sure Bubba B wants something to do with that.
Rodgers is officially a $40 million backup on this team. Their regression in the game is absolutely ridiculous. Juanito Ramos, thanks for checking in with us. John Brown is no longer on the team. He was not re-signed at the end of the 2021 season, and then he retired in the offseason. So we couldn't even sign him as a free agent when Diggs got hurt.
There is a guy out there named Schwartz, though. The Schwartz is with him because he's on fire.
Schwartz is the new Beasley. He's actually the number 2 receiver until Diggs comes back. But when Diggs is back, he's the new slot receiver. But Beasley's back in the slot, and then you've got McCoy out on the edge as the number 1 receiver that doesn't get any looks like Diggs did.
You don't know who Brew McCoy is, man. You got to check him out. He'll be wearing number 86 in the white uniform, and he's a monster.
Oh, dude, he's a beast. He's like 6'3", 220.
Let's see what we can do on this 3rd down. Guys, if you haven't got your guesses in yet, you might as well do it. If you're watching the stream, might as well win a $25 restaurant gift card.
Flat-footed.
Restaurant of your choice. He's flat-footed in the pocket, throws it away. The Bills will get the ball. The first time today, Chris, what are you looking for out of this Bills offense?
First off, Juanito Ramos says, oh, my bad, sorry. That is not your bad, Ramos. You're checking in. You're hanging out with us. It's our job to get you up to speed, make sure you got the right picks in so you guys all have a fair chance to win your $25 gift card. What I'm looking for is a fast start by the offense. The last couple games, it seemed like they had total control, and another free agent went and stole that jersey number. It's unbelievable. These free agents just get into the jersey locker room and take whatever numbers they like.
Josh isn't off to the start that he's been off to here, Chris. I mean, we see that's 5 touchdowns, the 4 interceptions. It seems like he's using his legs a little bit more than normal.
I think he has to. His number 1 receiver's out. So his most familiar receiver, John Brown's gone. Beasley's now relegated to more of a backup role because the age is starting to set in. He's got all these young kids, man. He's got to, if they're open, give them the ball. If they're not, take their shirt or play with your legs and get some yards.
See what they do here. First down.
He's in trouble.
Pirouette. Pirouette of death, my man.
Oh, you can't pirouette against this guy. This middle linebacker, Smith, is a beast. Who do you think's going to score first today, Dan? Let's start first. Do you think the offense or the defense is going to score first? Because that's actually a legitimate question with this team.
I'm going to say the offense, and I'm going to go with Knox.
Knox is always a good one. Ooh, thought they had a chance to be picked for a second.
How about you?
You know what this team hasn't had almost any of this season is big plays. Like a 50-yard touchdown, 50-plus yard touchdown. The defense makes lots of big plays, but I want a big play from the offense. And I was just going to say Brew McCoy is my choice. I'm always going to be on the Brew train.
Who just caught that ball?
Who else? Schwartz.
Schwartz. It's thrown me off because 16's Foster in my life, and in the other world, excuse me. Ooh, the hiccups.
Yeah, Foster's gonna have to earn his number back because all I see is Schwartz.
The Schwartz is with him. We got a really long field goal. Man, come on.
Get him started. Shocker. No good.
Why do they do this?
Yeah, I don't even understand why the game's got 60-yard field goals programmed into it rather than going for it on 4th and shorts or playing field position on the road.
Ronald Enoch says the offense has one good play, the 60-yarder from Diggs.
I think that was last season because Diggs got hurt on the first series of the game. I think his first touch of the season is when he broke his forearm. But I do remember the 60-yarder he had last season. Last season, basically last week.
Yeah, I was going to say like 7 days ago.
Yeah.
Big stuff. Yeah, you need a big drive here. What happened on the punt?
They didn't
turned away for 1 second.
They didn't punt. They kicked a 60-yard field goal and missed.
They kicked the 60-yarder. That's right. Yep. My bad.
So they get the.
So we got about 50 people out there, Chris, right now watching live. Guys, go ahead and put in the tweet, in the comments, what you're sipping on, what you're eating, what you're doing today. We like to see what everyone's doing. We got the usual suspects out there. So, let's see how everybody's doing out there, staying safe.
Big Saturday night of football. It's time to tip them back.
Big stick there. There we go. Look at that. 4 rushes, -6 yards. Just seeing that. Edmonds is really coming to his own.
This run defense is just a force to be reckoned with. I don't think anyone's gotten 100 yards as a team on this defense yet.
Man, it's like playing Tecmo and picking your friend's plays before he does.
The truck is telling me that Jordan Poyer has gotten the first touchdown 2 games in a row.
J-Po doing his thing.
It's
with him. He's got Knox.
It's crazy for somebody to get 2 defensive touchdowns in one season, let alone the first one in back-to-back games.
Sure, you could have taken Micah Hyde in the past when we had him back in the day, and there's Samuel on the good cover. Is that Eddie Pringle? Is that Peeps?
I don't know who that was, but that was Bobby Alligator Arms as far as I'm concerned.
All right, so we got 4th and 12, folks. From the 48-yard line, they're going to be punting. Get your picks in. I like free food. Do you like free food, Chris?
Dude, that's the best tasting food there is. That's the best.
Shirt's a free shirt.
Dan,
food's free food.
That's the best part about the entertainment industry is every set has just a buffet of food out there for you at all times.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're having a smorgasbord of touchdowns on this drive. Hopefully on this stream today, we're going to be giving some stuff away. So let's see. They're in the Drew formation. Only good things come out of that. Folks, make sure that you're guessing who's going to score this first Bills touchdown so we can give you a $25 restaurant gift card.
Hold up, Dan.
Restaurant of your choice.
I got to dive in here and save Yves LePage. Hopefully I said that right. Yves LePage. Brown is no longer on the team. He retired in the offseason. The top 3 wide receivers are currently Brew McCoy, Anthony Schwartz, and Cole Beasley. And then the top 2 tight ends are Jalen Lay and Dawson Knox. And then, of course, you've got Moss, Allen, and Singletary in the backfield.
It's tough when you get this far down the road, when you hop in. But we're glad to see you.
That's our job.
Stick around. Yeah, we're gonna give away a pirouette death. I mean it, man. First of all, 2 things: pirouette equals sack. Sack equals look like fumble. You're gonna come up with 4th and 15.
I'm telling you, when you see this 55 coming off the edge, you got to get rid of the ball immediately. And once again, guess who's struggling?
Ford.
Cody Ford.
I hope he has a better year in real life this year.
I hope they give him a better Madden ranking in real life this year. Bruno.
Looks like we got Coffin Corner out at the 12.
Damn, Bruno Tuber's checking in. Do you know who Bruno Tuber is?
Oh, who's Bruno Tuber?
Bruno Tuber is our runners-up from the Quarantine Cup today, the Rocket League Quarantine Cup that we had, and they got handed their loss pretty heavily by Bills Mafia and Rufio. We gave out.
You guys had a good time on that?
That was a good time. We had eight teams participated at an 8-team bracket, $100 first place prize. If you guys check out the YouTube page or the Gratwick Gaming Twitch page, the finals were streamed on there. Not bad for our first tournament.
Check it out, guys. And if you're following along, you should also check out Gratwick's Discord server at Gratwick. I think it's gratwick.com/Discord. Me would pop it up there, Chris, for him.
It is discord.me/Gratwick.
/Gratwick. I've been off for a couple games, but I'll get back in the kick of this. So join Gratwick at their Discord server at discord.me/Gratwick. Tune in for all the information. They have fun Rocket Leagues. I know they do trivia nights, and we do some Madden Sims too. So pay attention.
Some murder mystery too. Escape rooms if you're
That's
looking
right.
for it.
Yeah, the escape room.
Is that incomplete? 0 for 3 for Jordan. He's not getting any love.
No love there. 4th and 12. The only person who's getting some love are the punters in this game, folks. Chris, you know what? We're gonna do a sock giveaway on this next drive too. I want you guys to tag in a friend. More friends you tag into the chat, more socks I'm gonna give away. So tag in your friend. If they come in, the Bills score, you both get a pair of code socks, the Poncho Power code socks.
Rattle some cages, folks. Make somebody Saturday night. Get their feet warm. Get them a Bills win against the defending Super Bowl champs. Monday night on Saturday night.
Returnable.
This dude's gonna have to check himself with this jersey.
It's a Ramos getting in it. Hopefully Jordan comes in for you.
All right, sock drive. That means it's a triple D, Dan. I guess
Yeah,
a
that's
quadruple
triple
D if you're involved.
Yeah, it is. If your friend comes in, it's quadruple. Oh, big run there. There it is. Schwartz can do
Oh
it.
boy. Oh
now he's
boy.
down. First I say that, Billy Red Shoes has got to go down.
Oh boy. They could not afford to lose Schwartz right now.
Just to the sideline. Just to the sideline.
There he is,
He's
shaking
on
it
the
off.
sideline. Okay. All right.
Jacoby's gonna go over there and talk to him about it. You okay, kid?
We clapped him to health. So McDermott clap brought him back to health. Inside handoff stuffed in the backfield. Man, they're getting nothing with the running yards on either side of it.
Jerry's great grandson Scott Glanville tagged in the chat. Let's see if he comes in here.
Jared Peel's got Adam Wilder on here. We got Sock Rich Boar. It's for the socks from Mark Arnold. Paul Burden. Paul, what's going on, my man?
Paul Burden, our current fantasy football leading scorer for the NFQL Fantasy Football League.
I got to take a look at that. Oh, there goes Josh Allen. Little cut. Ooh, we're going to get a holding penalty. That's going to come back.
Completely useless holding call away from the play. The worst kind. Oh, Cody,
There it is again.
you're killing us, Cody.
Ford. I think we're gonna have to talk to management about Cody Ford in these sims. I think we're gonna have to start shopping a right tackle.
It's definitely the number
Through the
one
middle,
need.
through the woods to Brew we go.
There he is.
Brew McCoy, ladies and gentlemen, take note. If you bought the McCoy jersey, switch up the numbers, throw it to 86. You're good to go. Get down with some Brew.
Brew's got a big back, and he's going to need it because he's got to put this team on his back today until Schwartz can get back out there.
Well, I think you're gonna see heavy tight ends here.
We did talk to Dabble, and he did say after week 2 that he tweaked the offense and the playbook a little bit to have a little more reliance on 2 tight end formations. Number 1 with Diggs out, and number 2 with Jalen Lay on the team now. They have 2 talented young tight ends, and they just need more snaps in those formations to get enough touches.
Guys, and if you're just joining us, we got a triple D. We got a double dipper drive, and it can actually be turned into a quadruple dipper. If you just joined us, go ahead and pick the player who's going to score the touchdown for your shot at the gift card. You could also tag a friend. If your friend comes in and we score the touchdown, and you guessed it right, friend and you are going to both get a pair of Code socks. The more friends you tag, the more friends can win.
Chuck Keller says, "Brew." You know what? One of the longest, oldest standing truths in fan football fandom, Dan, and really this applies across all sports. The fans cannot resist a long U. If you've got a long U in your last name, you're going to be a fan favorite all day long.
Oh, yeah. Juice, Bruce, you know.
Luke Longley back in the day.
Yeah.
Dude, who was the fullback? Didn't the Bills used to have a fullback that had a long U in their name?
Jamie Mueller.
Maybe, but I feel like they're... Man, somebody's got to do something about Smith. He is just absolutely a one-man wrecking crew right now. They're counting that as his second sack, but by my account, that's at least his third. Ford needs help.
He does. He needs a lot of help over there because he's getting rented.
Mark Sonnemeyer Jr. checking in. Gene Davis for the touchdown.
Gabe Davis, not Gene.
Yep, Gabe Davis. My fault.
Him too. Gene, Gabe.
I don't even know where I got Gene from. I kind of glanced away.
Oh, that's a long field goal. Short. Like, can we start learning about these field goals?
God. 0 for 2 on 60-yard field goals.
We're 0 for 2 on restaurant gift card drives as well as the sock drive, too. So let's see if the defense can get something going here. You know what? Let's run a sock drive, Chris, just for the defense. Right now I'm going to put sock drive. It's going to be a turnover sock drive. So we're going to go T-O, sock drive. Pick a defensive player, everybody. Pick a defensive player.
There's some folks that are loving that you're back, Dan, because every time you're not here, we don't do as many defensive prize drives, and they're always asking for it. We want a defensive drive. Down goes Eddie Pringle.
You know what? Ask and you shall receive. Guys, while you're at it, I love giving away socks. You know what I love even more is keep everybody in the loop. Once this hits where we can all be together, we're going to start putting out some information about the Mafia Homecoming by Code Socks and Cold Front Report and Gratwick Gaming, and we're going to get this thing out there. So hopefully if we can all get together, we can all be together for another Mafia Homecoming.
Hey, I heard some great news out of New York State today. So apparently you can now have groups as large as 12, but if you're protesting, you can have groups as large as 100.
How does that work?
I don't know, but the best part about it is that they think they can actually control the number of people who are protesting.
And if you are protesting out there and you're going out and standing up for what you believe in, we support you, and be safe.
Hopefully you're all in Washington, D.C. today watching the game on your cell phones.
Just be safe out there if you are going out there. I don't want to talk too much on what's going on in the world because I think we're bringing everyone here to get away from it for this hour, Chris, but everybody be safe out there. That's all we care about.
If there's anything in this world that should unite people, it's sports. And
100%.
that's the best part about a locker room, and I feel like that's the problem with the world today. It's not enough people played team sports. Not enough people grew up in a multicultural locker room and have fought and worked their asses off side by side with people from all sorts of different backgrounds.
Past it, the common goal, and I think that's what's happening right now in society. But you know what's happening right now in this game? The clock's ticking. There's 0-0, folks. I mean, we got a clean slate.
Hey,
we want to give away some socks.
We've attempted 2 60-yard field goals.
Yeah. Oh,
keep dropping back. Keep dropping back.
Pirouette. Just keep dropping back. Goes down.
Was that a 25-yard drop back?
Nick Barnett?
So when you have a $40 million backup, exactly how long is the leash?
I think it's over, man. I think he's got to go. But Madden's not going to pull him in the middle of the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't even think they put it in the game on how to pull a quarterback. Oh, we got Rufio checking in, too.
Pete Barini said, I'm a big fan of the scoop and score. Me too, man.
Rufio is one of our champions from today's Quarantine Cup, Dan. Dan, so the finals were a best of 5, right? 2 versus 2 in the finals, and game 2, our eventual champions were down 4-1 with 2 minutes left in the Rocket League match, and the other guy, one of the partners, was disconnected. Bills Mafia was disconnected. Rufio puts the team on his back, scores 3 goals in 2 minutes to tie it up, and then scores an overtime. Blocked!
Stupid score!
The special team says we're going to score first!
The 20 to the 10.
Touchdown!
Touchdown!
Is that Bubba?
Was that Schwartz?
It's Leonard Smith! Everybody's favorite, Leonard Smith.
Is it really Leonard Smith? Is that the guy's name?
No, dude. Leonard Smith was in the 90s Bills.
I know. That's why I was joking if that was really his name. Who scored it? We have to check and see
Hey,
who scored this.
you see who blocked it, don't you?
Bubba Bolden.
Bubba with his second block punt.
Robinson. Robinson is scoop and score for hello, Mr. Robinson.
Robinson is our 6th round pick, a cornerback, a young cornerback that is just a depth player currently that plays special teams, and the kid's a player.
Tell you what, it couldn't get any more arbitrary that this guy picks up scoop and scored special teams touchdown. Too bad we weren't doing the special teams thing we did back in the day.
Well, that's only for the playoffs, Dan. $150 gift card for special teams touchdowns in the playoffs.
Are we gonna run it back, Chris?
Dan, how crazy is it that there's an actual debate right now on who's going to score first for this team, the offense or the defense, and the special teams is like, we're not going to be outdone.
No, I mean, what do we do, Chris? Do we start all over? Do we have everybody comment again? See who's going to score the next touchdown? Because it's a race. I mean, we're clean slated, right?
We could make this just one long extended Green Bay drive as well, if you like. Pete Barini is asking, where can I see tonight's Bills roster? You can go to daddyleagues.com/NFQL.
Got some family out there on there. Aunt Laura Onella McClellan, how you doing? John Brown is no longer on the team. You want to pick Austin Knox is a good pick. Schwartz is a good pick. You can win a $25 restaurant gift card courtesy of Bratwick Gaming, Trainwreck Sports, and Code Sox if you pick the correct person.
Oh, fumble! Scooped up by the big man.
This Bills defense is just unbelievable. Epinesa, the tackle, the strip. Here we go, folks. Buckle up. Put your seatbelts on. 7-0. We're heading into the second quarter. Who's going to score the touchdown, Chris?
Like I said, I will always ride Brew McCoy to the end.
I thought we got the ball.
No. Big man number 75 fell on that. He actually, I think, broke a tackle in there too before he went down.
All right, so here we go. We're bringing up 3rd down. Get the train horns going.
Dan, you know it's a Bills party when the ants start showing up.
Oh yeah, you know what's crazy? my love for the Bills started from obviously my whole family, Chris. But my Uncle Mike had season tickets, and my Aunt Laura had season tickets, and they had a great tradition. They used to bring in pepperoncinis. Every time the Bills scored, had to eat the pepperoni and chuck the little stem up in the air. But it was good news. The problem was we were scoring so much, we all left there with heartburn.
Yeah,
I'm a 13-year-old kid, and the heartburn just set in.
That sounds counterproductive. I feel like I'd be rooting against the Bills scoring.
You know what? Everyone's got their things, but I'll tell you what. Those parties and everything that we did before the games with my uncles, that was back in the day. We could bring the big box truck, and they would get a couch from the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
I was just great times. Great times.
We our family used to have our big extended family reunion at the home opener every year. And so it'd be like 100, 150 deep for just a humongous tailgate party in the lot directly across from the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think back to those times in the early 90s, and that team was just so good, and I feel like we're back there now. We're getting there. They're there. This is like 1980. Last year was like 89. Oh, the drop in the end zone against Cleveland. We all remember that. I think that's where we are now. We're past that.
I'll believe
Next year was our 89.
I'll believe it when the Bulls start winning championships.
Bulls?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
then I'll know where the 90s are officially back.
Yeah, right. I don't know, Zach LaVine had something on there today, something about changing the culture, something I saw on Twitter and Instagram.
You know,
field goals. This is the 60-yard field goal day.
Yeah, this is crazy with these field goal attempts. Especially, and it's not even like they're 4th and longs either. They're like 60-yard field goal, 4th and 2. 60-yard field goal, 4th and 2. So
well, here comes Josh Allen, folks, and we've got to have a winner today, Chris. We got to give a winner. So here we go. Everyone's in. Everyone's locked and loaded. Remember, tag a friend. If your friend comes in and watches and you pick correctly and the Bills score, you're going to win your friend a pair of socks and you're going to get a pair of socks. So go ahead and tag a friend in the comment where you're watching, and both of you could potentially win a pair of code socks.
You know what, Dan? I'm going to throw another prize on this drive, and it's also going to be a t-shirt drive. But there's a very specific way to be eligible for this t-shirt drive. So we've been talking internally a little bit with the weather getting nicer out, and we've been wondering if you guys might like the games to start later, if that'd be a little more convenient time. We were thinking either continuing 7 p.m. or even as late as 9 p.m. Start time. So in order to be eligible for the t-shirt drive, all you got to do is comment with which time you would prefer, and you're entered in the t-shirt drive.
A 7, 8, or 9 o'clock start. What a big catch.
Rocking down with that? Look at that.
Ooh, McCoy, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, now you know. Pick up your glass and take a sip, because Brew's here to stay.
If the big fella is going to start winning jump balls, this team's going to be unstoppable.
Oh, wow. What a great ball. A great catch. So we're inside the Code Sox red zone. How fitting. Get your cameras out, because I think we're going to see a touchdown here.
Oh. This is a nice run.
Singletary. All right, it's a good run on first down. So we're down to the 11-yard line. If you haven't guessed yet, I don't know why you're here. No, I know why you're here, because you want Bills football. But you should be guessing who's going to score the first touchdown.
The folks love the 7 p.m. kickoff. Love to see it. 1900. Roger.
Now, it's like the 7 o'clock, so the winners, man.
This is a steamroll.
I was just trying to be able to have it at 9 so I can come on more of these, because I started back to work because Florida is pretty much open again. Looks like I'm not going to be on the streams that much.
I haven't seen a chat beat down with this or that in a long time. That's this one-sided.
It's crazy. Oh, inside handoff. Here we go. Singletary down to the 2-yard line, folks. Why wouldn't you enter? Why wouldn't you want an AR-loaded t-shirt, a pair of Code socks, potentially for your friend also, and a $25 gift card? So you could be warm with the socks, have a shirt on. You know what they say, no shoes, or no socks, no shirts, no service? Well, we do that here. We give you socks. We put a shirt on your back, and we give you $25 to eat.
It's like the passport to every bodega in the country.
100%. Here we go. Allen in the Drew formation. Only good things.
There it is.
Back to pass.
Wide open.
Touchdown. Cole Beasley. Bees knees takes it home and flushes it down.
We got 3 prizes on the board. 2 Cole Beasley pickers. All right. So let's do this in reverse order. I'm gonna do the T-shirt pick first. Then we'll do the socks. Then we'll do the deciding factor between the two gift card winners. All right. Let me get back up in here. Picking a random time guesser. And we've got Chuck Keller. Chuck
Keller.
Congrats. Send a message to Gratwick Productions. You won an AR gift shirt for your 7 p.m. comment. Now, anyone else that's won in the past couple days, we are a little backed up on our T-shirt orders, so we're sending the whole order in on Sunday night to Del Reed and 26 shirts. So don't worry, the T-shirts are coming, and our latest winner, Chuck Keller, is going to get the shortest turnaround time.
Well, Chris, here's what we're going to do with the socks, because I know there were 2 winners, right?
There were 2
We're
winners.
We should do the gift card. We'll have people choose, like we always do the race, right? When we say go, don't do it yet. And whoever doesn't win the gift card, the other person's going to win the socks.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So here's what we're doing, guys. We're going to do a race. It's going to be a race to 5. They're going to put in the chat, starting right now, I'm putting start, a 1 or a 2. Whoever gets 5 first, that person will be the winner for the gift card. The other person will get the socks, and we'll see if your friend came in.
Hold up 1 second. There was a question about who scored. Number 11 scored. That's still Cole Beasley. And all right. So
ready? Go. 1s or 2s. We got a 2. We got a 1. We got a 1-to-1 here. Here we go.
Chuck Keller.
Oh, the 1's out to an early lead.
Chuck
3.
Keller, Gratwick Productions on Facebook. Our Gratwick Productions Facebook page. Just send us a message right on there.
We got 4-2 here. 4 for the 1s, 2 for the 2s. What's it gonna be? Need 1 more for the 1s, or we need some 2s to come up.
Meanwhile, Zacoby's out there sacking folks.
We got a 2, so we're looking at 4-3. There it is for the 1s. Number 1 wins.
Number 1.
Who was number 1?
Michael Arnold.
Mike Arnold, congratulations. You're going to get in contact with Trainwreck Sports to claim your $25 restaurant gift card. Go ahead and get in contact with Trainwreck Sports on any of the platforms. Chris, who was the second person?
Jared Peel is our sock winner.
All right, Jared Peel. Let's see who you had come in. If you tagged anyone. You see the Ed Oliver. Amber Nicole. Amber, if you are in for Scott Glanville, if one of you guys are in, go ahead and put a comment in the tweet. We're going to give you 30 seconds. While we're waiting for that, we have Allen on 2nd and 10.
Everybody keep their eyes peeled for
Scott Glanville. There you go. So Scott Glanville and Jared Peel, go ahead and message Codes Socks. You can either go on Facebook at Codes Socks, all one word, 2 S's, or you can go on Instagram or Twitter at Codes_Socks. Get us your information, and we'll get you guys out some socks this week.
So, let's see.
Ooh, big play there.
Pete Perini was bringing up an interesting point. He was confused on who the touchdown scorer was because Daddy League said Austin Mack is number 11. For whatever reason, sometimes Daddy Leagues, because I'm looking at it right now, and there's actually two players on the Bills roster with number 11, Cole Beasley and Austin Mack. Obviously, they're both not wearing it. So for some reason, that Daddy Leagues has issues with jersey numbers and with injury reports. Those
playoffs.
Yeah, and they don't sync in the playoffs because of EA removing that ability. But for whatever reason, those two trivial things, the jersey numbers and the injury reports, are always wrong. Like they'll say guys are injured that aren't injured, and they'll have multiple people wearing the same jersey number.
First and 10 from the 15. We're inside the Code Sox red zone here, folks. And guys, remember, stick around because you know what starts the second half? Chris, tell them. What happens in the second half?
What does happen in the second half, Dan?
We're going to have another Sox drive.
Look out.
No, Sox for days, man.
Will any of these going to be autograph socks?
We are actually out of the autograph socks. We have to take that off of our thing, and I'm glad you said that.
Uh-oh.
We are all out. But we are going to give people the choice to log on to codesox.com when we score in the second half. And we give away another pair to pick a pair. The two gentlemen earlier won Poncho Power Socks.
Zach Moss falls forward for the first down. Love to see that kind of tackling.
First and goal from the 5. Oh, Moss.
Oh, that was a hard hit.
Yeah. Two gentlemen won Poncho Power Socks. The next one we do in the second half, you're going to be able to pick your pair of Codes socks.
Scott is asking, where does he message again for the Code Socks?
You will message Codes Socks on Facebook. So it's at Codes, CODES, or it's at Codes_Socks.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble again.
On Instagram and Facebook.
That right side is just collapsing. I'm surprised, but this is the first time we've heard Clark's name. He's just a monster in the middle of this defensive line. Kenny Clark.
Sounds like a football name. Kenny Clark.
Oh, I kind of think of his baseball name, I guess.
Maybe like my neighbor. Kenny Clark.
Kenny Clark, up to bat, bottom of the order.
We got third and goal from the 16. Allen in trouble.
Boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
there's some serious pass rushers on this Green Bay defense, and you're seeing the results of it here throughout the first half. This is the third one now that's shown up, their youngest draft pick that they brought in. It was actually the catalyst to that Super Bowl winning defense. Between Smith, Clark, and I'm sorry, but I forgot this guy's name, 93. You're asking a lot of this Bills offensive line to slow these guys down on any 7-step drop.
Oh, we got a long field goal again. That one looks good. Bills are up 17-0. Oh, I would love to walk into Lambeau and come out 17-0 going into halftime.
17-0 on the defending champs.
That's right. They ended up beating Cleveland last year, right?
Yeah, Matthew Manzella is absolutely right. 62 does need to go. He's their right guard, and I believe he's like a 67 rating. He's a weak link in an offensive line, and having him as the right guard for Cody Ford's right tackle is just a disaster.
Matt Manzella, how you doing, buddy? Everything's all right there in Buffalo.
I'd like to see, especially with a 17-0 lead, this team start running the ball more. Take the pressure off of Allen having to take these long dropbacks and just getting pounded. Because really, you just want to control the game from here on out and get out of here without any more injuries.
Love is 10 of 14.
Yeah, and he's been
11 of 15.
And he's been sacked 5 times.
Yeah. They haven't been able to run the ball. I think it's on both teams. They need to run the ball more. Obviously, they're not going to run. They're in the 2-minute hurry up. I'm not saying right now, but either of them have really got the run goal this game.
So just a reminder, tomorrow is the bye week for the Bills. We'll be back again on Monday night. Hopefully everybody will be outside barbecuing in some great weather, enjoying their Sunday.
Little Chevettas on the Barbie.
Oh, it's been a while since I've had Chevettas.
I always have it stocked, man. Whenever people come down, I'm like, you have to bring 3 things. Give me some peanut sticks, because they don't sell them down here. Bring me some Chevettas, and bring me some frozen bison chip dip. I will thaw it out and eat that whole tub.
You know what's at the top of my list right now? That
Logs?
No, we've started making those ourselves now at home. They're friggin' fantastic.
I need the recipe.
Costanza rolls.
Oh, some bread.
But like the nice long sub rolls. They're like, we tried looking for a good sub roll around here to make our own chicken finger subs, and the roll is the missing ingredient.
So we have Publix. So Publix has a pretty good bakery. And there are no Costanzas. Don't get me wrong. There are no Kaufmans. They're but good.
Every time Zach's not around, Bubba goes off.
I mean, he's having a day. Bubba's the man. If Bubba Bolden was a real player for the Buffalo Bills, I would buy his jersey.
He could be next draft. I mean,
next draft, Bubba Bolden.
If you think about it, the prospect that he is and the need that the Bills have.
Off doink. There's Rodgers, $40 million holder.
So Bubba is projected to be a late first or possibly second round pick, and I think the Bills would be very, very smart to pick a safety, especially a game-changing safety, with their first or second pick in the 2021 draft. Both by next season, Poyer and Hyde are going to both be another year older.
Poyer signed though for 4 years. So
yeah, I understand that, but they're both getting to the point where you need to start grooming a replacement for them, and having 3 playmaker safeties the way that this team runs their defense would not be a bad thing for a season or two.
Mike Arnold, Wegmans opened up in Virginia Beach. Oh man, I wish.
That's a score
I
right
wish
there.
There was a Wegmans down here.
1 second.
Felix does have awesome subs there, Josh Arnold.
We've got our 50-50 Super Bowl squares on sale all season long. Sunday, as well as doing the shirt follow-ups, we're going to be reaching out to everybody that's already bought their $10 tickets, their $10 squares in the order that they've bought them, and start getting your choice for which square you want. One clarification on what Zach had said. It is a 50-50, but there's going to be 4 winners, each quarter. It'll be $50 for the first quarter, $100 for the second quarter, $150 for the third quarter, and then $200 for the final score. Plus, you'll get to choose what charity gets a $500 donation if we sell out all the squares by the playoffs. So go ahead, check that out. Hopefully, you'll support some charity with us and get a little office pool gambling going, and make the Super Bowl fun. And hopefully, our Bills are in it this time.
Josh Allen having a heck of a day, Chris, on other news. 11 of 12 for 134 and a touchdown. I would take that any day of the week, and I'd love to see them run the ball here out of the Drew formation.
Especially against this type of pass rush. He's just staying strong and crushing. Oh, geez, ripped them chunks.
Singletary. A rocket.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get at least 12 touches here in the second half.
I'd like to see him get at least 20 touches a game when we come back to reality.
18. 18 would be what I'd like to see him average. I think if he averages 20,
though. He's going to catch the ball out of the backfield too.
Sure, but because Moss is so similar, I don't think you need Singletary to average 20 and still get the same great impact as you would. I think that's risking a little too much.
Look at Singletary. See, he's getting mad that you're talking about him only getting 18 touches. He's like, okay, here's 11 for 65, Chris.
Yeah, there was some dips-a-doodle in there.
Now, this is something that we've touched base on. I mean, we've watched a couple seasons now, these streams, but I feel like the Bills they abandoned the run. We got the whoops going on. Whoop. But, they abandoned the run last year, and in big games. It seemed like whenever there was a big game, they tried to throw it all on Josh.
Honestly, and this is no knock on him as a person, but I think the out of place piece that screwed up the Bills season last year was Frank Gore. I just think the way he used the amount of touches he took away from Singletary early in the season, the amount of time wasted until they found out what they had in Singletary. Like even if Gore never existed and they had to go with Yeldon, I think the season has at least another step farther than it did in it, if not home field advantage.
You know what, Chris? We've been sitting here talking this whole time. We didn't even tell people to pick the first touchdown. So we're gonna take that off this. Let's do it now, guys. Go ahead and choose who's gonna score the touchdown. You can win a pair of code socks because we're about to score. So we're going to give away another pair. So I know a lot of people have been following on and saying, what are these guys doing? The code socks drive's going. Go ahead and pick who's going to score the touchdown here on this drive.
Salem Hot Dogs. Oh, good call, Michael.
They sell them here at Publix.
There's
a sack.
Gotta get rid of that ball quick. All three of these guys are going to end up with multiple sacks in this game.
He's hooping out there. He's saying ball in. Here we go. So Dave Bartle's got the McCoy shout out on there. I like the Brew McCoy. Brew.
I think anywhere from the 5 to 20 yard line is going to be key Brew McCoy territory this season.
Just I got a question for you. What's that little glass on the bottom?
That is our beer mug that collects followers, subscribers, and anyone that tips the stream. And any tips for the stream go back into the gift cards that we give away and the restaurants that we support. So if you did want to trigger the flag or do a tip, you can go to streamlabs.com/GratwickGaming and you can trigger the Bills flag. The other two ways to trigger the Bills flag is to subscribe on Twitch or YouTube. Either one of those at Gratwick Gaming will trigger the Bills flag to wave.
I'm going to go on YouTube. I'm going to test it out.
I'm sorry, it's streamlabs.com/GratwickGaming1, the number 1. Nice and inconvenient.
Hey guys, we're not asking for any tips. But we're asking if you guys want to help out, if you guys like what we're doing, and you want to help us out with giving away more food as we go along. The more people that tip, the bigger the prizes get. That's all that happens.
That's exactly right. You know what else gets bigger? The score when you keep kicking field goals.
Seabass and the fellas make it 20-0 Buffalo Bills. And I think people are still a little nervous. We got people saying, hey, we need to score a touchdown on this drive, but you know what? I'll take the 3. I'll take 20-0. Guys, your comments are locked in for the next drive. We're going to do the Code Sox drive when the Bills go back on offense. We're going to have the truck take down the Codes logo there on the right-hand side. Once we go back on offense, we will have the Code Sox drive. Go ahead and get your comments.
You know, Dan, you're looking at mid-season here, right before their bye week on Monday night, coming off a loss in the middle of a 4-game road trip. It's an out-of-conference game. You could easily have seen the Bills have a letdown here, but instead they're coming out making a statement against the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, and you know what? This is what they need to do this season. Think of the road games we have. We've got San Fran. We've got Denver. We've got Vegas. I almost said Los Angeles. Las Vegas. We have Tennessee. We have, obviously, Miami and all that.
Arizona.
We have some tough Arizona. Can't forget Arizona. We have some tough road games ahead of us. They're going to have to come out and punch people. Big play. It's always the big play.
Got lucky there. He stepped out of bounds.
Reception. You know, he cuts in. He's gone. But we're going to need them to come out, punch people in the face, say, hey, we're here. We're the Buffalo Bills, and we're winners. And do what we're doing right here in this city.
You know what I'm looking forward to most this season? And I'm not even talking about this from a betting standpoint, but just the word applies here. I'm looking forward to being the favorite in going into games. Like the team that is expected to win, and the other team is going to have to play their best football to have a chance in. It's been a long time since you looked at the calendar and more teams were below the Bills than they were above the Bills on the schedule. And I think that's where they were running him down.
They were there. They were there. I was about to jump in there.
Like for example, when you're the Patriots in the peak of their run, you look at the schedule and every team looks soft because you're the best team in the league, and you look at it from that. No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You look at it from that perspective. And that's what I think the Bills are now finally getting to the cusp of, at that point where we can start looking at the schedule and the other teams in the league from a different perspective of they're on paper, they're not good enough to beat us. So I'm not going into these games scared. I'm just going into it hoping my team plays to their ability.
Here we go on 4th and 6. It's about a 42-yarder?
Shutout crusher.
Shutout crusher, but the Bills have to put some points on the board, Chris. This game's far from over. You know what else is far from over? Giveaways. Because here comes the Code Sox drive. We're extending it to this one. If you've already commented, great, you're in. If you haven't, because we got about 60 people, we're going to find a way to give away these socks. And guys, if you do want to check out our new t-shirt line, we got some doozies on there that haven't been released yet. They're kind of sitting in the background. We got a little play on a Pac-Man t-shirt with Andre Reed. We have a play on two receptions for 2 touchdowns for my boy Snowman. We have some other shirts on there. Go ahead and check them out. We're going to be coming out with a couple new socks this year. We got some things in the works here at Code Sox.
Matthew Manzella makes up a great point. I agree with him 100%. We should be able to dictate to their weaknesses on both sides of the ball. They are absolutely, from top to bottom, stacked to do just that.
Yeah, they are. And I'll tell you what, there's no excuses this year. 0 excuses coming into the season. Oh, he doesn't have weapons. Oh, we don't know about the line. Oh, we don't have a pass rush. Oh, who's our other corner? Well, they've answered all those questions this year. They got Diggs. We got Josh Norman. We re-signed
Bruce starting to go to work, but I think that was Lay.
Who did we really lose? Who did we lose? We lost Phillips, yes. We lost Shaq, yes. We lost Zoe. I'm really only equating that to losing Zoe.
We kind of lost Lorenzo, because he's already come out and said that if they need him at some point, he will. So he's basically just on the Roger Clemens arrangement, where you guys, you young bucks, get us to the playoffs, and I'll come and bring what I can to the run.
I hope so. I love Zoe out there. I liked him being in the locker room, in the community. I mean, he did a lot for the community. Let's talk about that. He was all over the place. At Aces Foundation, he did a great job with them, and he taught these younger guys how to be active in the community. But he could still lay the wood, man. He could bring the lumber. So if we could see him later on in a Bills uniform, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, it never hurts to have one more pass rusher for a playoff run.
2nd and inches, I take a shot here.
Oh, jump ball to Brew. Student body left. Oh, he got it.
Oh my gosh. Spain couldn't get out there.
The guy pulled. Oh, come on. They didn't give him the first down. The guy pulled him over the line.
Come on, go forward. QB sneak. Hard count. Oh,
get it, Josh. There you go.
Fly.
Oh, right. Jesus. I don't know.
The hit he's taken.
I don't know if you need to take them both on head on.
I don't think you want to be watching this stream and not comment right now. I'll tell you that much. We got Code Sox on the line. Now, guys, make sure you're commenting in the chat. We'd like to give away a pair of socks here. Whoever scores the touchdown, you'll get a pair of socks, unless there's more than one entry, and then we'll have some fun.
And I have not seen Schwartz back out there, even though he only went to the bench. I haven't seen him. Has anyone else got an eye on Schwartz?
It's not him up top.
Oh, boy.
Well, I guess on first down, you have to lose 10 yards every time.
That went bad fast. We've got a Tampa question, Dan.
Oh, okay. What do we got?
Do you live near Tom and Gronk?
Yeah, actually, I live about 25 minutes from where they. Well, Tom lives on Davis Island, which is just south of the city. That's about 35 minutes. Gronk, believe that he is in Odessa, so I'm about 10 minutes from him.
Now that Gronk's not a Patriot, you got to get on a little Gronk train or get a Gronk sock. I mean, I kind of like the guy.
I'm buying a Gronk jersey, Chris. I can finally root for a Buffalonian that's made it big and had an illustrious career. I just wasn't buying.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If you, for any other team, I'd be all in on Gronk and think he's awesome, but not on the Patriots. So
when he talks, he's just straight Buffalo. Like everything out of his mouth is just Buffalo.
Yeah,
that's all I hear.
But I don't have the same forgiveness for Tom.
I'm not gonna hate him as much. He's gone. He's out of our division. And we care. Why? Chris, let me ask you a question.
Because I just it's as a football fan. As a Bills fan, I despise him. As a football fan, I have
a big field goal.
I don't like his smugness. I don't like his reputation. No. I'm never getting on the Tom train.
We're just hitting uprights left and right on this sim. You're not getting on the Tom train, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. I have a different appreciation for it because I get to view it. The good thing about the Bills playing all these night games, I'm going to be able to go check out the Bucs. I'm going to be able to go and watch Tom Brady live, and I don't have to root against him for 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, you tell me if it's enjoyable rooting for him, if that feels good inside.
I want him to listen. Here's the statistical side of me. I want them to win and go to the Super Bowl.
That's my nightmare.
I want the Bills to go to the Super Bowl, and I want to take them down right here, and I want to have 50 people call me and say, I need a place to stay.
Yeah.
And I'm going, and I'm going to go watch the Bills win the Super Bowl right here in Tampa, and we finally get the monkey off the back.
No, dude.
Tom Brady.
I like the risk reward there isn't great enough for me, because if they lose to Tom in his own home stadium and a Super Bowl, and it's a 5th Super Bowl loss, and this whole new era starts with another Super Bowl loss, no. I want the worst team to ever come out of the NFC to be there.
You don't want to take down Tom?
Listen, if the game was over and that's how it went down, absolutely, that's a perfect. But I just don't see Tom getting all the way back to the Super Bowl in his home stadium and playing against a team he's terrorized his entire life and not just going to another level and freaking. No. I cannot live in the world where that's possible.
Chris is gonna have PTSD after this. After this conversation.
It like, if I could personally construct my own kind of hell, that's exactly what the end result would be, is us getting all the way back to the Super Bowl and run right into Tom again.
Joseph Hinken asked, I'm sorry if I Hotchin, asked who had the winning TD for the gift card. It was Cole Beasley, the Bee's Knees, took it home. And Mike Arnold says Joe Montana is the GOAT. Now, I'm gonna back up a little bit here, Chris. I'm gonna bring everyone back for a second, and the reason why we're here. We're gonna give some socks away. So it's sock time again.
Well, I'm circling back on that Montana comment.
And 2, but we're gonna go ahead and put sock time in all the tweet and all the chats. Guys, go ahead and pick the touchdown. Score the touchdown. We're going to start over. Who's going to score the touchdown? You could win a pair of code socks if you guess correctly. So let's circle back. Let's circle the wagons back to the Joe Montana. Chris, I'm going to let you go first. I already know, I think, what you're going to say. I've lived with you. We've been friends for a long time. I know number 4 is your favorite. Brett Favre.
So,
what are you going to say?
My personal favorite quarterback of all time is Brett Favre. However, the best quarterback of all time, I would still go on the Joe Montana train for the same exact reason that I'm on the Michael Jordan train. You get to that many Super Bowls and you're undefeated in those Super Bowls, you are the best ever. Anytime it got to the biggest stage, nobody beat you on it. That's what made Jordan so great. That's what makes him still this, to me, puts him above LeBron. Because LeBron made it to more finals, but Jordan never lost the finals. Never even went to a game 7 in the finals. And Montana was the same way. Like, if Montana got to the Super Bowl, it was over. Put it like...
What a punt.
So from just that dynamic, as a championship quarterback, I think Montana's the best ever.
Let me know when it's my turn.
That's my button.
It's your button. All right. Buttoned it up. Put a shirt and tie on. Make it a date. All right. I'm going to piss off a lot of people. I honestly think that, and I have to say this, and I'm going to take some clout, you have to give it to Brady. Brady has to go down as the greatest of all time. And here's the rationale behind it. When you go to that many Super Bowls and you dominate for as long as he has, let's not get it twisted. Montana left in San Fran, right? At the end of his career. Shuffled him off to Kansas City. Right? What did he do in KC? Yeah, he let him.
He ended up being
do an AFC championship game.
Drooling on the bench after Bruce Smith destroyed him.
I'll never forget that. Grabbing the side of his helmet.
The whole second half, he was in no man's land.
He's done it since he came into the league. It's unheard of.
Yeah.
That behind the ears kid.
But here's
the Super Bowl. Wait, they go back the next year in the Super Bowl. Go back 3 years later in the Super Bowl. And they had a little time off. And then they won the Super Bowl again.
If all things were equal, I might buy that argument in the Brady versus Montana. The thing that tips my teeter-totter in the Montana direction is there is not a sniff of scandal, a whisper, a maybe he did, maybe he didn't. There's no one that's like, well, I don't know, maybe Montana cheated. So to me,
that's a different game, different day and age, different era, different everything. We have no clue what those guys were doing behind closed doors. It was a completely different game.
It doesn't matter. There's not a single sniff, and they had less cameras to work with, so they weren't doing more surveillance.
Down at the 1. Can we get a goal line stand here?
Madden is absolutely the worst with the 1 yard line. It thinks it's an absolute brick wall.
That's fine. There's our brick wall right there, number 49, the big guy. Yeah, I'm looking for big things on. Man, can we go back to these helmets, Chris?
This dude shoots a gap like nobody's business.
I want to circle the wagons on the helmet. I think all of Buffalo would not be upset if they flipped back and forth to the white and the red. And we're going to get to see that next year, I know.
Hey,
I cannot wait.
Joseph Hosen brought up the other point that I would have in my argument as well. That freaking half those Super Bowls he's lucky to have won in the first place. Between Vinatieri and Atlanta and Seattle being jackasses. So,
let's talk about this though. Wait, he still won. Should we have come back? Let me ask you.
Bro,
this is
they got a 10-year free pass to the playoffs. The AFC East. In the 17-year run of Brady, how many times was there a competitive second team, let alone a competitive third team in his division? He got 9 out of 10 times he got 6 free wins a season, or went 5-1. Like never has a team had such a clear path to the playoffs for such a long period of time.
Okay. Are we supposed? Should we have beat? Let me ask you this, and it's been an age-long question. Should we have beat Houston?
Oh, without a doubt.
We should have.
Oh,
should have beat Houston. We should have beat Houston down at halftime, throwing an interception coming out of halftime, and them taking it to the house. It's a game we should have won.
I I don't think at all that the Texans beat the Bills. I think the Bills are inexperienced.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the greatest comeback.
Oh.
The Oilers. Would we have won that game?
I mean, freaking...
No. Y'all answer for everybody. We should not have won that game. But we did. So you can't say that for Brady.
Yeah, I'm saying it for Brady.
Manziel's right. I agree with Matt Manziel. Brady statistically has it. 110%. We outplayed Houston. Yes, we outplayed Houston last year, Josh Arnold. But didn't outplay him when we came back in 1992.
Yeah, but, dude, like number one, if they played 10 times in a row, how many times is Houston in that situation going to get up to a 30-point lead on them, number one? And number two, it's their fault they quit on the damn game. So,
then you can't say that for the Seattle game, getting lucky, Malcolm Butler, interception,
dude,
awesome. You can't say that, okay, so David Tyree.
Hold on.
Let's flip it the other way.
Hold on.
Should the Giants have won?
Before you make this argument, let's start with the first fact that we have to go with. As Bills fans, we've seen firsthand, and we've seen every other team do this in the same situation. The amount of times the Patriots have won a game because the other team just fell apart down the stretch and did some sort of ridiculous turnover at the worst time, or had a freaking sack that just changed the complete complexion of the game, or or chose to pass at the 1 yard line. The amount of teams that for whatever reason beat themselves at the end of a game against the Patriots where they had them on the ropes, it's beyond just an anomaly and has to be factored into the equation of, I don't know, it cheapens their win, in my opinion.
Still haven't given Gabe Davis a new number.
As far as I know, the 3 is his number.
Is he going to be number 3? Is he going to be able to wear number 3? I don't think so.
I thought there was other players in the NFL that are receivers with single-digit numbers. I thought they changed that a while ago.
I don't know.
No, yeah.
I like the 3 though.
So now that we've gone with all the front runner people, now I'm going to tell y'all why Brett Favre actually is the greatest quarterback that ever played the game. For number one, the way he led his team and inspired his fellow teammates to just run through brick walls, and the love of the game that he played with, to me, is head and shoulders above everybody else. He was just fun. And then on top of that, the freaking 5 Super Bowls Favre got ripped off on and got screwed that weren't his fault. That stupid freaking Terrell Owens catch that he started crying afterwards. Guess who that came against? Freaking Brett Favre. The FedEx with his freaking 4th and 24. Guess who that came against? Brett Favre. The stupid Michael Vick and the Falcons come into Green Bay and win because of that game was so fixed it's not even funny. Freaking
Chris likes Green Bay.
Listen,
I love Green Bay, by the way.
The Packers punted the ball, and freaking the ball, they say it hits the guy's helmet. No, I'm sorry. The Falcons punted. They say it hits the Packer guy helmet. The replay shows the ball was a foot over his head, and they still called it a fumble. Completely turned the complexion of that game. Another Super Bowl run Favre got screwed on. Then he got screwed in the worst Super Bowl of all time against the damn give it to John Elway Broncos that they totally didn't deserve that to win that Super Bowl, but the refs were freaking bought and paid for to give it to him. Absolutely, Favre should have had about 5 or 6 Super Bowls. Then they run him out of freaking Green Bay because we got Rodgers, and Rodgers goes to win the Super Bowl. What did Rodgers win a Super Bowl with? Rodgers won a Super Bowl with the freaking team that was built for Brett Favre. Has Rodgers won a Super Bowl since, after all that got changed and old? No, he didn't. Favre is the greatest quarterback of all time. He just got snake bit by freaking a lot of crazy shit that he wasn't on the field for in his playoff runs. Yeah, even with the Vikings and the Saints game, freaking that should have been another Super Bowl run that they had there, and he should have never been in a position to freaking throw that interception. Yeah, but for attitude, character, leadership, and talent, it's Brett Favre 1,000 times over.
Would you say that the new Brett Favre, before all the comments that were made and everything else, take all the political stuff away out of this comment, would you say the new Brett Favre was Drew Brees, starting to be Drew Brees?
No, absolutely not. Drew Brees to me is more of a Dan Marino type. And this is my favorite thing about this generation of football. To me,
I'll tell you what, Cole Bees, we gotta come back to the game for 1 second. Bees knees down to the floor, or the 3-yard line. It looked like. Looks like the Bills are going to be in scoring territory down to one.
Yeah, another absurd 1-yard line stop. But
probably going to be a pass, I'd say.
Oh, get there! Is that Singletary?
Singletary touchdown.
But to me, the Brett Favre, Michael Arnold, good callback. To me, the closest thing to Brett Favre right now is Josh Allen, and that's what I love about the fact he's on the Bills, because regardless of what team Josh Allen plays for, the type of aw gee shucks personality that he has, the way the guys love him, his character's personality, his build, the way he plays the game, that's the things that I catch to and cling to. So he could play for pretty much anybody except the Patriots. And I'd be a huge Josh Allen fan for his career, the same way I was a Favre fan, even though I'll always be a Bills fan. But I just love the fact that this generation, my favorite quarterback also happens to play for my favorite team.
All right, let's switch gears here. Let's talk about Sam Darnold.
Ryan Samuels, thank you for sharing the link and giving us the A-OK to toss the game streams in there. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Let's talk about Sam Darnold. Talk about what you think and expect out of him this year. What do you think the Jets are going to do? Like, is this kid going to wake up?
Do you want my honest Sam Darnold opinion? Because it's not overly intellectual, but I think it's correct.
I love it.
He just looks like an asshole that's not going to work out. He's just got that little gremlin face that you can just see him always being that dude that's going to be on the wrong end of these Bills-Jets games with that weird look on his face. And the fact that the Jets picked him, I have no confidence that they're going to do anything to help this kid. So I think talent's irrelevant. He's going to inevitably be the flame out and the bust from that draft class.
Let's switch gears again. What do you think of Rosen? Do you think he actually got a fair shot anywhere?
Oh, absolutely not. And being 1,000% honest, coming out of the draft, Rosen was the one that I wanted the Bills to pick, and I knew nothing of Josh Allen other than his size and that he was a project. But them doing the interviews, they obviously have access and know more than we do and all of that. Now having enough time to get to know this kid, I think they made the right choice for the city of Buffalo. But I still would like to see Rosen have gotten a chance to at least have his own team that was committed to him and see what the results and how he would have done there. Because to me...
Got the flag flying out there, Chris. Is that people subscribing?
No, that's still the Bills shout song from the touchdown. I forgot.
We're still going on. 2-minute warning, folks. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back on Monday. Don't forget. Chris, sorry, didn't mean to cut you.
Oh, no worries. I think Rosen is the shining example of how a little bit of luck plays a factor in your NFL career. And if you go to the wrong system or the wrong team in the wrong state, you're going to get mismanaged and mishandled, tossed around, flipped to another team, and ironically in the same exact situation. And again, 5-10 years could go by, and this kid could be a forever backup, and nobody would ever know what he really was because his career never started with a turnaround. Speaking of turnaround,
I'll tell you what, we know what Trey White's about. Picks it off, takes it down the sideline. The Buffalo Bills are going to fly home with a 27-6 victory, Chris. What a great performance by this defense today.
This was a start to finish dominating performance. All three facets of the team: special teams, offense, defense, all of them. And real quick, I want to answer one more question while they kneel this out and the game ends here. Joseph Hosen said, "What do you guys think of running the K-Gun offense with Allen, Diggs, Brown, and Beasley at Singletary, all the talent they've got on the offense right now?" I think these young stallions and these kids that they have now are all absolutely built and want to play fast. I think some of the times this offense has struggled the most is when Dabble and McDermott have tried to slow the team down and be a little bit more methodical on their matriculation down the field. But I think if this team really takes the restrictors off these kids, I think they're going to play hard, they're going to play fast, and they're going to put a shit ton of points on the board.
Year 3 of the playbook, year 3 as a starter, training wheels are off. Anything's possible with this team this year.
Robert Williams, the accuracy stuff is irrelevant. I mean, back in the 60s, 70s, most of these quarterbacks used to be 55% accuracy. And the reason for it was because they threw the ball farther downfield. The guys with the 65, 70% completion percentage, the majority of their passes are going to be inside of 15 yards and even closer to the line of scrimmage. I'd much rather play a style where we're pushing the ball downfield and we've got a 60% completion percentage, but we're taking more shots downfield. We're taking more middle range shots in that 15 to 25 yard range and doing it that way. I think you've got a player just like Favre was that's just he's a gamer. Like, he's got to go down swinging no matter what it is and do whatever he can for his team to win. I think that is far more important than accuracy.
Speaking of swinging, Chris, we hit him with a right, we hit him with a left, we hit him with an uppercut from the special teams. This defense was going, and I'll tell you what, this Bills team, they put it to them today.
Oh, absolutely. And what a dominating way to finish up the road trip, to head into the bye week, right split down the middle of the season, 5-2, trying to pull up the schedule here for you guys, but it's not triggering here for some reason. So tomorrow night, Bills are on a bye. We'll be back Monday night, 7 p.m. with the first home game in over a month with the Bengals, and we're going to officially be in playoff push period.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Chris. We got the people. We got the playoff push. We got prizes. So people, playoffs, and prizes means fun.
People,
Make
playoffs,
sure
and prizes. The triple P.
Triple P. People, playoff, and the prizes. And you know what? Chuck Keller says, thanks again. I love this. And, of course, go Bills, and you're right.
Adam,
Buffalo, folks.
Adam Wilder. This is the first game I've watched. I'll be tuning in Monday for sure. Adam, wait till you see what we do for the playoffs when we get there. The prizes get bigger and the content gets bigger.
Matthew Manzella said the smallest wide receiver group in the NFL last year, plus one of 7 teams without a top 40. Josh Allen's completion percentage still increased, and I'll agree with him. And he hit those intermediate passes. He hit the big passes the year before, and everybody got excited. But he did what he needed to do in year 2. He started connecting on those medium passes. The big passes will come. I'll tell you what else will come, Chris. More prizes, more fun. Take them out.
Here's the last thing I'm going to say on Josh Allen and this quarterback discussion on it. For most of us Bills fans, we've at least been around through most of this drought. Even the teenagers have grown up with bad Bills football. So, like, the whole debate over Allen is simply because people can't be patient enough to let time go by and let him mature into the full-blown developed player he's going to be. The thing that kills me is we've seen enough bad quarterbacks, like truly bad quarterbacks that didn't belong in the NFL, let alone starting for a team, get on the field and play for the Bills. If any fan base in any team's community should be able to recognize the eyeball test of what a good quarterback is and isn't, it should be this one. And the fraction of this community that still won't get behind Allen and still thinks he's not the answer because of this stat or that stat needs to crinkle that crap up and throw it away and just keep watching the same games over and over again. If you can't see for yourself that this kid's a gamer and that this kid's got that whatever it is that makes a starting franchise quarterback and makes grown men want to freaking play and give their heart and souls to this guy, you don't know anything about football, and you've certainly never been on a field with other players, even in a backyard game. Because I would do anything to play with this guy. And I don't even step on the field with him. I know he's going to be great. I just need to let the time go by and enjoy the arc as it happens.
Tell you what, we're letting the time go by and we're enjoying the company of everybody out there. But Chris, as you know, as I know, whether it's Code Sox, Gratwick Gaming, giveaways, family, friends, food, and football, these Madden Sims, this fun, and more importantly, Chris, this train, what?
Never stop.